Hey guys, Demon here, and today we are doing another um, Adventure Time, uh, episode. I guess you'd call it not a review, but I guess it is a review technically. It is the series review. I have two more Adventure Time videos planned after this, and only two, and that is my top 10 Adventure Time songs and top 10 Adventure Time episodes. But this is my series review. If you want to know my review on every episode, go back through my catalog. Just go to like the Adventure Time playlist, and you'll see all my reviews and all my theories and stuff. There's a lot of them because there's a lot of episodes of Adventure Time. But this is my final series review on Adventure Time. So, what was Adventure Time to me? The good and the bad. So, first off, we're going to start with the bad in the series to my personal opinion on what the bad is. The random episodes were pretty bad in my personal opinion, and this was probably the biggest factor that made me not like Adventure Time as much as I should have, was all the randomness. And now I get that some of the random episodes were really good, and probably some of them will be in my top 10, but it had such a good plot line, or plot lines, I should say. It didn't have really one coherent plot line, but it had a bunch of plot lines that were really interesting, and I wanted to see what would happen with those. But we never actually got to see what would happen with them, or when we did, it was like really long and drawn out sort of thing, and some of those ended up in like failure in my opinion, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, like it was like long and drawn out. It kind of reminds me of another series, Conan or Detective Conan, depending on what you want to call it, or is it Detective Conan? And then it's the uh, I think it's something else. It's anime. It's an anime, and it's been on for like 20 years now, and it still hasn't like finished its main story, which is kind of dumb to me. And I like that show, and I like a lot of the episodes. I haven't watched every single one of them because there's like over 400, but I like a lot of the episodes. But I want my stories to finish the main plot line sometimes, and it's stupid to wait this long. This show's been on for like 8 years, and it took this long to actually get like some of the plot lines finished. It didn't even finish all of them, which sucks. And some of the random episodes were kind of garbagey and kind of just iffy and kind of just like, oh, that was kind of average. It was okay, sort of thing. But a lot of the episodes were pretty good, but some were just like average. And there's only a few that were truly awesome, which I will do in my top 10 Adventure Time episodes. But yeah, like a lot of these episodes were okay, some were good, but some were just kind of boring. And I feel like it should have focused around the main plot or the plots more often. Like if I was the one writing the show, I would have done plotline, random, plotline, random, plotline, random, plotline. Something like that. Something like a pattern where you get most of it a plot line of some sort, and then the rest is randomness. It would have been very interesting to see that in Adventure Time. Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about secondly, that I disliked about Adventure Time was the unfinished plot line, the unfinished plot lines, the unfinished endings, and the poorly finished endings. So, first off, let's talk about the unfinished endings. And the only one I can really think about is Fiona and Cake. The Fiona and Cake plotline, or whatever you would call it, it never got finished or resolved. All we know is that there's a movie of them, and that Ice King gets it beamed into his head. So is it a different reality? Is it a TV show? What is it? We never get to know. That plotline, it gets sort of referenced by the end of the series, but then it gets thrown out the window. It's just like, you're never going to realize the end of this unless it's in a comic book somewhere, which would be pretty interesting. I'd like to see a comic book with that in it. If it ever comes out for Adventure Time to see like, oh, this happened, this happened. I always wanted them to make like an 8-part miniseries on that, where Finn would meet Fiona and stuff, but they never did. I actually made a whole video on like 8-part miniseries and what they should make them on. I'll put that in the link below if I can find it, but I probably can't, so I'll put that in the link below. But yeah, that whole video is about like what they should make 8-part miniseries on and like all the stuff like that, and it was pretty cool in my opinion. um, that's really the only unsolved one I can think about at the moment. There's probably more of them that I find less important, but the one I wanted to know most about was Fiona and Cake. I guess you could say Maja and the random tandem war elephant might be one. But then again, at the end of Adventure Time, we get to see Maja again. So is her plotline finished? I guess that's a good device to go to, like the disappointing finished plotlines. So Maja, is her plotline finished? Was her plotline finished? Like what was that all about? The Rantan and Royal and stuff like that. We never got to know, and at the end she dies. So that's a disappointing ending in my book, or a unfinished ending, I guess, in some books, because she was away from the elephant in the first place. So unfinished and disappointing. Unfinished, finished, disappointing. um, and then we have Martin, which is my second least one. My most one I'll tell you next. But Martin is the finished one that I have like really disappointment in. Basically, he goes with a comet into space or somewhere into a different reality and does whatever he does, and he never comes back. I really wanted him to come back and meet Min again, because that would have been awesome. Because man, I love that 8-part series. That was probably my favorite 8-part series. A lot of people say, "Oh, mine was Stakes." I think most people say theirs was Stakes. Some would say the Element one was theirs, and few would say that the Island one was theirs. But my personal one is the Island one. The Island 8-part miniseries was my personal one, and that ending with Min and stuff was pretty nice. And I always wanted to see Martin meet up with Min again, but we'll never get that unless it's somewhere in a comic book, I guess. But in the show, we'll never get that because it's never coming back. But it was a very good idea I had, or I thought about. I guess I thought about the idea and it was really cool. And that's one of the reasons I think Martin's ending was so unsatisfying and so disappointing. It's just because he was there, and then all of a sudden he was there for a few episodes. Nothing really got resolved except like he's just a jerk, I guess. That's it. See you later, and then it just ends. And then the most disappointing plotline ender is the Lich. So the Lich is one of my favorite villains. I have a list of 3 favorite villains, and the Lich is on there. I'll actually put that in the description below as well. But yeah, the Lich is on there. He's one of my 3 most favorite villains. He is this awesome villain. I know that his motive isn't the best. He's just like, I want to destroy stuff because that's my duty. I just want to kill stuff for a goal, I guess. But he has the most disappointing ending. Sweet Pea beats him, and in the end scene, we do get to see an adult Sweet Pea, which is pretty cool, I guess. But I would have preferred to see the Lich come back and actually do some damage and actually have a proper fight with Finn. And I also wanted to see the Lich meet up with multiple characters that he never did, like Marceline, Hunt and Abadir. There's probably a few other ones that he never met up with, and it's kind of sad that he never did, because it would have been awesome to see their reactions to each other. It would have been awesome. But yeah, the Lich, he has this really lackluster ending to me. It's really disappointing. It's just kind of like, oh, you're here, but see you later. Like, I defeat you and banish you to wherever. It's really disappointing, and it sucked. So yeah, that's my top bad things about Adventure Time. So let's move on to my good things about Adventure Time. First off, let's talk about the episodes and the plot lines. So, there was never really a coherent plot line throughout Adventure Time. Except for the Lich for the longest time, that was the biggest plot line, which I always said was very disappointing. The ending about that. But the plot line was very good, and most of the episodes were very good. The plot line of all of these plot lines, the two that stand out to me the most is obviously the Lich and Marceline and Simon. Those are the two that stand out to me the most. And Marceline and Simon actually have a good ending, while the Lich has a very disappointing ending. But these plot lines that they have on these are really, really good in my opinion. And it's sad that some ended up bad, like some ended up disappointing at the end. But it was really good at plot lines like Martin, Marceline and Simon, the Lich. Fiona and Cake was a kind of a funny one, but it was still pretty good. But yeah, like all these plot lines, they all ended up together, and Gumball, of course. These plot lines were really awesome, and some of them paid off, and some of them did not pay off, which sucks. Of course, that's like one of the best parts of Adventure Time is that the plot lines were awesome, and the random episodes. Again, I already talked about this, but a lot of them were good, and a lot of them did have more meaning to them than some stuff did, I guess. Like the egress one was pretty cool. But yeah, like a lot of episodes were good, and a lot of plot lines were good. I guess the Fern was also a plot line. Fern was also a plot line, and that was a really good plot line. And by the end, it kind of gives off a Marvel reference, but still, pretty good plot line. And then, of course, you have the songs. The majority of the songs in Adventure Time, I would say, are pretty good. Some are just average, and some might be bad. I don't really remember all of them because there's so many episodes, but most of them are good, and the ones I will talk about in my top 10 are really good. But yeah, like the songs were really awesome, and like even like the writers of Adventure Time, like some of them went out to do other projects, and one of them is Steven Universe, which is like a really good show and stuff like that, and they have really good songs. So it's pretty interesting to see that like Adventure Time like influenced all these other things, and it was cool. But yeah, man, just the plot line, the songs, and most of the episodes were really good. The characters were freaking awesome. Marceline, probably one of the best characters. Finn, my main man, he was one of the best characters. Jake, lazy guy, but also a really good character. And there's obviously more than just that, but I don't really remember all of them. Well, I guess there's Bubblegum, always kind of uptight, but a good character. Then there's Ice King, which had like a tragic backstory, and he was like a really good character. Tragic backstory, really good character. Oh yeah, Dr. Gross was one of the plot lines that never got finished. What the hell is that about? Dr. Gross, man. One of the plot lines that never got finished. I thought I was leaving out one that I was thinking about, but yeah, Dr. Gross and what's that guy's name? I forgot that guy's name, but he also left out a plot line. But yeah, man, Dr. Gross, really sad to see that she never got a full plot line. But yeah, man, just the characters and stuff were really good. And like Dr. Gross even, she was a pretty good character. She was like a crazy mad scientist that we never got to see the ending of, so that sucked, I guess. And but yeah, most of the characters in Adventure Time were freaking awesome. I guess some of the side characters were kind of like not really fleshed out and kind of plain and boring. And some of the characters we could do without on some of the episodes. It's just like, oh, why the hell I need to watch that guy or something like that. But the majority of them were pretty awesome, and I enjoyed the majority of them. So all in all, Adventure Time is a really good series. It's been good since the beginning, and I say it's pretty good till the end. I wouldn't. Some people might say, "Oh, it like slacked off on these certain episodes and stuff like that." Personally, I would say it's been good throughout. Not every episode. Some episodes I wish I didn't really see, and I wish I would have skipped. But most of the episodes, damn good. The characters, most of the characters, I guess, damn good. Most of the songs, damn good. And the plot lines are good. Pretty much every single one of them. I don't think there's one plot line that I did not like in Adventure Time. But the randomness and stuff like that of all the episodes of just like taking like 30 episodes of randomness and 2 episodes of plotline. There you go. It's kind of stupid. It's like whole seasons of randomness and then plotline is pushed to the back. I get that's just the way the show went, but I just didn't really enjoy that half the time. But yeah, man, that's my view on Adventure Time. Really good. If I were to give it a score, 1 being the worst, 5 being average, 10 being the best. What would I give Adventure Time? What would I give Adventure Time? I would give Adventure Time. I would give it a. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because Adventure Time is really good, but it has bad parts in it as well. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm not gonna give it a perfect score because it has bad parts, but all the good parts kind of leave those bad parts out in the dust. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. So, really good and almost fantastic, and that's one of the highest scores I've ever given to anything. Not 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10. If you have not watched this show, go watch it. Don't watch every single episode. Go watch my reviews first to see what episodes you should watch. But then go watch Adventure Time itself and watch all the episodes I recommend. Especially that last one, man. Ooh, man. And those plot lines and that ending. Ooh. Simon, I feel sorry for you. Finn, I hope you're with Huntress Wizard. And stuff like that. But anyways, that's my review on Adventure Time, this series. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane and go on an adventure. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just saying, hope you liked this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all that nonsense. But anyways, I hope you have a good day, because, the video's over. And I hope you watch more videos. Go ahead and click these videos, or click subscribe, See ya.